It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Rockets in Houston.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The Rockets play before the hometown crowd here in downtown Houston, Texas. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Fame. And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, we know...
Great stuff, DA. Thanks. Bill in Houston, if there's one critique of James Harden's game, it's been his defense. But do you think that's changing a bit? We're seeing some evolving in his game.
Definitely changing. First of all, he's playing defense now, which has been a revelation.
Jeff Bezdelic, I think, has really gotten his fingerprints on it.
Yeah, good name drop, too, by the way. I like that. Yeah, you know what changes your defense is being picked apart online and Twitter GIFs and YouTube clips and people on studio shows on big, giant HD screens pointing out that you didn't try on this and that you're a matador. And I think that there's been a shaming element of his defense that's actually been successful for him. And I wish we had that in the 80s for Dominique Wilkins and some of these other guys. Maybe if we had shamed Dominique Wilkins, maybe we would have played better defense.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. We've got LaMarcus Aldridge. AI is out there with Murray. Then it's DeRozan, and it's Bertans at the 4 spot. And the Rockets last season, first team to ever shoot more threes, Bill, than twos.
Yeah, is that a good thing?
It's more interesting to watch. Percentages are a little skewed.
Is it more interesting to watch if you're 7 years old or if you love basketball like us? I don't know.
It's
I
fun
still
to
love
call.
the back cut.
Yeah, I agree.
But this is the society we're in now, right? Like people love home runs. They love three-pointers.
The big shots.
I will never in my life get used to watching guys on a 3-on-2 fast break go to the corners versus go to the basket.
And that's what Houston does.
And that's what Houston does. And mathematically, it's the right move. But I still kind of like layups sometimes.
You're a traditionalist.
And I like to straddle traditionalism versus the new math. I get the new math. I don't understand shooting 45 threes in a game. Just, what is that? It's just a new form of basketball, I guess.
It is, yeah. AI right side. And he makes good on the layup. AI's got his first points of the night.
This is where you want to attack. AI not one to settle. Challenging the defense inside. I love it.
Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not going to lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later, they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek, JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. It was probably the most famous NBA game ever of the... the kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something, but triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Capella. The shot off that time. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. AI dishes to DeRozan. AI passes to Aldridge. Good work defensively by Capella.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And how about the points they put up? I mean, they were aggressive. In fact, at times overwhelming.
Hey, I agree with you there. I mean, they were in a really nice flow, Greg. Seemed like they couldn't miss.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. San Antonio also making some changes. Jakob Poeltl's checked in for Bertans. Bellinelli comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Whiten for DeJounte Murray. It's good.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Always a spirited debate, Bill, around the NBA. Which team was the best ever? I know you have an opinion on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I used to feel really strongly about my opinion on this, but I think basketball has changed so much over this decade that I'm not even positive how you could compare what this Warriors team is versus what I always thought the 86 Celtics were the best team. But the 86 Celtics were built, I always compared it to a hockey team on a power play where you're just trying to get closer and closer to the net and crowd the net. And they were just built around getting layups and the best possible shots. The Warriors are built around math and shooting threes and spacing the floor. And if you took the 86 Celtics and indoctrinated them in that style for 5 years, they all would have been shooting threes, and they probably would have done it better than the Warriors, but I don't know. So I almost have like the before-after were theirs. I think the Warriors are the best team of the math era, but I still think the 86 Celtics were the best start-to-finish season anyone's had. The dark horse for me was the 01 Lakers, the second Lakers team. When Shaq and Kobe, they had won the year before, rocky first few months, and then they figured out whatever they needed to figure out, and Phil Jackson probably sprinkled some Zen fairy dust on them or whatever he did, and they just ripped through the league. And they came very close to going undefeated in the playoffs. So that would be my dark horse.
The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Clint Capella is out there with Bielitsa, and it's Green in at the 3, the small forward. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI in their last time out against the Heat got the job done. He ended up with 25 points and ran the team as always with a big number of assists. He put up great numbers in a terrific effort. It's not a game that anyone wanted to miss. And they'll be looking for a repeat performance tonight, Kevin.
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
Well, Greg, you know where I'm going. He was a stat sheet stuffer in that game. Did a little bit of everything and did it all well.
Picking back up, Bill, on our discussion of the greatest teams from different eras. What about those Chicago teams with Jordan in the 90s?
You know, the best one was probably the 92 team. But I really do think the league got a little diluted there in the 90s because of expansion. I don't think there was, like, the quote-unquote best Bulls team. I think Jordan was so great, he made it look probably a little easier than it was. But, you know, there's teams, they never really went against a great center other than 95 and 96 against Shaq. And, you know, the NBA pretends this never happened, but the Magic beat them when Michael came back from baseball, and Shaq and Horace Grant destroyed them. They were just too big for them. So, you know, for me, I still think that Shaq-Kobe 01 team was really great. Like, those guys were averaging 30 points a game each that year, and were just unstoppable. All the role players were really good. They had Big Shot Rob on that team, and Fisher, and Brian Shaw, Rick Fox. Like, that was a really good team. But I still think the 86 Celtics, having 4 Hall of Famers in the front court, DJ, Danny Ainge, the home court advantage, Bird at his peak of his powers, like, I would still say them.
Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
And the Rockets with possession here. 8-point game. The shot's good from Paul.
Can't fault the defense there. I mean, Paul is just a crafty finisher inside.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Over to the wing. Out to AI. Back to Pirtle. Basket is good. The assist from AI. Pirtle's got the lead up to 8 now for the Spurs. Now here's Paul. He's tightly guarded. From past the arc. And no good on the last second attempt this time.
And defensively, AI's tough now. Getting up into the man.
And so it's San Antonio holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And against one of the toughest offensive players in the league, they've been doing a great job shutting down James Harden. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. You look at AI in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. We've got Murray. He's out there with AI. Aldridge out there with DeRozan. And it's Bertinason at the 4-man position. The Spurs have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. Fans can see what a team is doing on the court, but they can't see behind the scenes. Clark, in your experience, what are some of the hallmarks of a team with great locker room chemistry?
Yeah, you know, it varies from team to team. You know, you've got various personalities, but I think the one common theme is really a respect for each other and a willingness to sacrifice for each other. That creates an atmosphere for people to be their best. The teams that have good chemistry, there may be friction, there may be drama, but underneath any of that is a real respect for each other and a commitment to sacrificing for each other.
AI right side. Uses the glass to finish the layup. AI's got 13.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. And a chance to now check out the scoring distribution between the front court and the back court players tonight for the Rockets.
And their guards really have done what they could to keep it close. What little offense they've been able to generate has come from the backcourt. They just need a little more balance.
Spurs making a switch here. White's checked in. Capella kicks to Paul. Shot clock at 5. Goes up at the stripe. The Rockets again can't hit.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Good on the shot. And the Spurs lead by 13.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And some nice passing there by Houston. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
Well, you know, one of the things about Mike D'Antoni is that he's an excellent offensive mind, but he gives his players so much confidence. His defensive reputation is not as strong, but with the Rockets last season, they actually were a lockdown team at times. D'Antoni answering those critics about not being a defensive-minded coach.
The Spurs shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Nene, he's checked in for Bielitsa. And it's Amon Shumpert in for Green. And San Antonio also making a switch. Elwinelli's checked in. And D'Antoni back in the catbird seat after some difficult seasons with the Knicks and the Lakers.
Yeah, I love Mike D'Antoni. Love how he comments and interacts with the media and how he handles his team. He's got a team committed to shooting the long ball, and he gives his players a lot of freedom and confidence.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth, physical basketball, guys.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
He's forcing shots offensively, hurting his team in the process. He needs to trust his teammates more.
For the Rockets, Fareed's checked in for Capella. Gordon comes in for James Harden. And it's Rivers in for Chris Paul. And San Antonio with the change here, too. Jakob Poeltl's checked in for Bertans. Shumpert against White. Shumpert finds Rivers. And so here is Houston. They trail by 11. Gordon inside. Bellinelli is covering. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jakob Poeltl. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the 3rd here. Gordon deciding where to go with it. 5 to shoot. Over Bellinelli. Here's Fareed. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge. Walker's checked in for the Spurs. Bryn Forbes comes in for White. And Kenneth Fareed, an outstanding performance with Team USA in 2014. But Greg, his minutes have gone down in recent seasons.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great rebounder. He's got all the athleticism you need, but he's not a shooter or a big-time defender. In today's game, you need your big man to do at least one of those two.
AI up top. Fareed defending. Basket good. And it's 6 points for Aldridge.
You know, to run that play right, the timing has to be there. I mean, crisp execution critical. AI doing it with that kind of precision.
Rivers, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And Austin Rivers out of Duke, an elusive 6'4" combo guard.
I mean, a great handle.
Now, here's AI. Defended by Paul. Out to AI. Back to Bertans. And taken away by Paul. Paul and Harden are the incredible backcourt duo. Green is out there with Bielitsa. And it's Capella in at the 5. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Back to Green. At the top of the key, Capella. Harden inside the 3-point line.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Basket is good. The assist from AI. AI's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. The 3 from Harden. A rebound by the Spurs. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. AI drives in. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for San Antonio.
When they've had a chance to attack the basket at any point in this game, they've taken advantage.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
Berton's shot is good.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Harden dishes to Capella. That one doesn't drop.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
Timeout called, the Rockets. Clark, you had a tremendous college career, excluding yourself. Give me the best NBA player from your alma mater.
Wow. I would probably lean towards Jerry Lucas as the best player coming out of Ohio State. And then you look at his pro career, was pretty solid as well. I thought Herb Williams had a fantastic and long pro career. John Havlicek maybe would rise to the level of the best NBA player of the group that came out of Ohio State. Jim Jackson is another name. Evan Turner still playing. But I think John Havlicek probably in longevity, championships, Hall of Fame stature. I think he may be the best NBA Buckeye.
I'm going to put Clark Kellogg in there, too.
Oh, I didn't play long enough. Didn't play long enough.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over that last break, I listened to Mike D'Antoni talk to his team. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Paul passes to Bielitsa. Rejected by AI.
I'll tell you what, AI pounced on that one like a big cat.
Here's Aldridge. That one drops for him. And the Spurs lead by 14.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the San Antonio Spurs. 4th quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect. That was a big one. You could hear it.
And sometimes the silence of a crowd can speak volumes.
Paul kicks to Harden. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all. And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for San Antonio.
And, guys, the fast break was run, I thought, beautifully all night by these guys. I think that was a big part of their success.
Yeah, they definitely ran the break well. A big advantage in that category, and they continually put pressure on the defense.
And I think, guys, we sort of expected a win here in a season already with 66 wins. Tonight's win will notch that up one more to 67. A very dominating presence they seem to have nearly every time they come out on the floor.
And not only are they on their way to winning this game, this also gives them a win in the season series.
And, Greg, I don't think we can overstate how significant that was for them today. I mean, beating a conference opponent 3 out of 4 times, that's no easy feat.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for AI.
Well, it was a pleasure watching him get his guys involved. I mean, his passing was tight and on time, really sharp tonight.
Here's Harden. That one doesn't go. Walker with some nice D. AI drives in. Paul with the defensive effort. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking